Hey everybody, it's Tanya Smith here of Get Noticed with Video, and now this is our show. The show name has been finalized. It's called Stream Like a Boss. So I want to talk a little bit tonight about a specific topic. We're going to talk about what happens, and this is a question for you. What happens when you're interrupted by someone who has bad intentions on your live stream? Are you prepared? Do you know what you should be doing? We're going to talk a little bit about some different tips and ways that you can actually prepare yourself to deal with what are otherwise known as trolls and difficult people. So I am thrilled and excited that we're back for another live stream. I'm going to give you a few minutes to go ahead and get yourself your favorite cup of coffee or water or tea, whatever it is that's the beverage of your choice. And I'm going to introduce myself through this short video, and we will be right back to talk about how to deal with difficult people when you go live. All right, see you in a few minutes. Hey everybody, it's Tanya Smith here again. I am really always excited to be here with you on Thursdays. This is when we go live. It's when we do our stream and we talk about tips to help you as a coach, a consultant, a course creator to serve more people, to stand out, and to also sell more of your services. Because otherwise, what really is the point of you doing all these videos if you're not really drawing the attention of potential clients? So you can also draw the attention of potential non-clients and people who simply want to be there to mess up your flow. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. So before I do that and dive into the topic, I want to definitely say hello and reach out to my friends in the all new Stream Like a Boss community. We have been Get Noticed with Video VIPs for a while now, but recently we've made some major changes and we're going to be doing some more updates over the coming weeks. I'm really excited about this. So I actually did a short video on this, I think it was 2 days ago, maybe even yesterday, which I'll be recapping and sharing out in a shorter form in the very near future. So let me say hello. I see some high fives right there. Awesome sauce. You know what I'm going to do is in the Facebook group, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to pull this up so I can see your comments. Because here's what happens when you are actually doing streaming, especially if you're inside of a Facebook group, I cannot see your image or see your profile name unless you've given permission to the streaming app or platform that's being used. So this applies to StreamYard or Restream or whatever it is you might be using. So if you look inside the group, there should be some instructions on giving permission to Restream so that I can see you and acknowledge you. But I'm also going to try to pull up my app right now, my Facebook app, so that I can make sure to say hello directly because I love the folks in my Stream Like a Boss community. We're called Stream Bosses now. There's Miss Marcia. Hello, ma'am. She always helps me to remember that I need to let you know if you're new to watching our live stream, then I want you to go ahead and type in hashtag newbie. But if you've been around for a while, you can either type in hashtag OG or now you can hashtag Stream Boss. Either one of those two will work, and I'll be making sure that I acknowledge you depending on where you are and where you fall into those categories because we love new people watching. As a matter of fact, if you're not already subscribed and following, make sure you do that. And we also love our tenured folks, the folks that have been with us for so long, which we've had a number of people who have helped us to really build an audience and a community that I feel like engaged with, that I feel, is you're my heart. You're my heart. So know that. All right, so let's dive into this whole topic, okay? And one of the things that I'm going to show you something that you can actually turn on if you're using Restream. Now, this doesn't apply to every single platform, but this is actually called Chat Overlay. So in Chat Overlay, you'll notice, I'm going to go ahead and move my little graphic out of the way here so that we can fully see the comments, but you're going to notice that there is a stream showing. So whatever comments you're putting into the stream, wherever you are, if you're on YouTube, if you're in one of my Facebook properties, I don't think if you're on LinkedIn yet, not quite yet. Eventually they'll get there, but we can see your chat as you put different comments in here. So moving forward, as we go throughout the broadcast tonight, you'll be able to actually see the stream flow. There's a reason why I'm showing this, although I usually don't, because it relates to the topic that I'm talking about. So if you are in the chat and you are saying hello, see, I can see Stephanie right there. Hi, lady. If you're in the chat, feel free to say hello and let me know where you're from. Where are you hailing from? I'm in the Dallas area. It is nice weather today, and it's been a little nicer than normal, although some people might call it hot. But look, I'm a girl from the South, as you see, Southern brood. So I'm good with the heat. Here's the thing that we're going to talk about, and this is why, again, I'm showing you the chat overlay. If you've ever dealt with a difficult person, I want you to put an emoji of your choice in the chat. So you can put like a wave, you can put a thumbs up, you can give me a face that looks like a thinking face. But if you've ever had to deal with a difficult person, I want you to go ahead and give me some type of emoji and comment in here. Awesome. From Florida, from Maryland. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So here's the thing. All of us deal with difficult people at some point in time. Hey there. We all have. But one thing I think, especially as newer streamers, we don't always think about how to prepare and to plan ahead for difficult people. And I'm talking about, again, people who are sometimes considered to be trolls, but also those who are not. I'm going to give you a differentiator in a second here because there is a difference in my mind between people who are just difficult people and then people who are actually trolling you. The reason why, as a new streamer or even an experienced streamer, you need to have a plan, and I'm going to give you 3 tips. But the reason why you need to have a plan in mind and why this is relevant, I think, to you as a streamer is the fact that you're going to find yourself in spaces where you're broadcasting to people that maybe you don't know. If you're broadcasting beyond and outside of your group. So if you're inside of a Facebook group, that's one thing, and it's a private group and not everybody can participate. Good evening, Stacy. But if you are broadcasting to multiple places, like let's say you're broadcasting on YouTube, you're broadcasting on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn, I don't think you have as much to worry about necessarily, but specifically Twitter/Periscope, right? And other open public Facebook spaces where you don't always know who's going to show up. When that happens, you have the potential to be engaging and attracting people who really are only there to mess with your mood. They're trying to mess up your flow. And it is what it is. This is where we are in the state of online marketing and digital spaces, is that there are people who are angry. There are people who are not feeling good about themselves. They have a low self-esteem. There's things that are going on with them. Who knows what the real explanation is? But there are people that are just nasty people. So I wanted to make sure to have this conversation because I've had this conversation recently with my coaching group, the Stream to Sell coachees. So those in that program, we were talking about this, and some of you may be watching right now. We were talking about this, and they were almost in shock about some of the stories that I shared with them. So I'm going to share a couple of stories with you as well so that you get it, so that you know that these are things that you can expect, but it doesn't mean that that should block you or keep you from doing live streaming. It doesn't mean that it should keep you from participating in this space. Because once again, as I always say, you have a message to share. And if you've been called to share that using video, then you need to share it. And don't allow someone else to steal that spotlight, that shine away from you. There are people that will try. So let me give you a couple of different examples. And then again, I'm going to share with you 3 specific tips that I have in mind that I want to make sure that you're really conscientious about. Um, First of all, I remember having a chat up similar to this. Now, this was before I was using Restream. I think I was using OBS at the time. And absolutely, I know that there were people in that feed that were coming typically from Periscope at the time, excuse me, and anonymously, like you couldn't tell what their real names were. But there were people who just wanted to mess with my mood. They just would jump on whenever I would go live, and these people would come on now and then to just interrupt and disrupt the flow of the conversation. So one guy in particular, I'm going to call him Cactus Guy. That's the nickname I've given him over the years because Cactus Guy got on a stream just like this where I was using OBS and I had an overlay. I had coded into my stream an overlay so you can see just like you see now the chat moving. And what he did was he started typing in things that were really vulgar. So comments about Cactus and what he wanted to do with Cactus. And it was just really just out of control. And as he did so, a couple of things happened. One, it actually almost threw me off a bit. Like it took me aback. It did make me pause, to be honest with you. But having the background that I do, I'm a former investigator and HR person, right? So I have a little chutzpah. I have a little hardness about my shell when I need to, and I was able to actually kind of detract and just move away from that person's commentary. But more than that, what happened was because I had built this engaging community already that was watching my live streams at the time, what happened was the people that were in the stream pounced on this guy. So I barely had to say anything. They jumped on him and were like, you know what, that's rude and you have no business being here. So that's great. But what if you're new and you don't really have people that are going to support you and jump in and take care of things? And what if you're new and you don't have a skill set yet of being able to completely ignore that? Just finding out that people are even rude enough and nasty enough to do that, to show up in your stream and create this chaos, probably feels a little heavy to you. And you may be thinking right now, oh my God, I really don't want to get on camera. I thought I didn't, but now I really don't. But what I want to tell you is that it's not everyone that does this. It's not something that is it's not a definite thing that is going to happen to you. As a matter of fact, it happened to me fewer times than all the different videos that I've done. It's happened maybe 3 times where it really kind of bothered me later, and I thought about how am I going to manage this? But because I've learned to put things in place to manage it, that's the reason why I'm able to speak to you tonight and give you some tips on how you too can handle those situations. I've also shared with you about my difficult person, one of my difficult people, the hair lady who decided she was going to get into my stream. She wasn't a troll. She just was someone who had watched a few of my videos. And when she noticed that I cut my hair short, and I cut it like way shorter than it is now, like boy short. And I had done so for medical reasons. I had done so because of the times that I was going through with my husband and his cancer treatments, but she didn't know any of that. She dropped into the comments and decided she wanted to make commentary about how I looked unprofessional. She put something like, if I looked up a picture in the dictionary next to the word unprofessional, you'd be it. You'd be the picture. And I thought, wow, that's like, that has nothing to do with marketing, which is the topic for tonight. Right? So again, you're going to have people who are trolls, which are unknown people. Usually they're very anonymous and they're not going to put their real name. They have keyboard courage, meaning that they're going to just put themselves out there to try to be disruptive and to mess with your flow and to say nasty things and maybe even use racist remarks and other things to try to distract from your message. But then there are going to be difficult people who will put crazy questions, and they may not even know or think that they're crazy questions. They maybe think that they're actually helping you or that they really are truly asking something of relevance. But in the end, it's not contributing to the conversation that you're trying to have. And they probably should know better, but they just don't. So, how are you going to manage these situations when it happens to you and you're doing lives? So I'm going to give you 3 ways to kind of take a look at this, okay? Yes, exactly, Bridget. Keyboard courage. I always call it that because I'm like, for some reason, sometimes people just get this courage that they never would have had if they were right in your face, but they can say things online because they're behind a keyboard. So that's what keyboard courage is. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our tips. Tip number 1 is this: always expect the unexpected. You can always count on the fact that there's going to be things that happen in your stream, in your live video, that you did not expect. There are always going to be things that will pop up or have the potential to pop up that you didn't think were going to happen and you didn't plan for, and it's okay. I can't tell you that any stream that I've ever done has been 100% perfect. And here's the thing about live video is that it's not perfect, and that people get to fall in love with your imperfections and with real you, not the fake, authentic, or inauthentic you that has been polished and published and produced to death, but the real you who makes mistakes, who said the wrong thing, who had the doorbell ring and the dog's barking, right? So I'm really okay. I've learned to expect the unexpected. I've learned to embrace that this is just who I am, and the things that are happening in this scene are real, and I'm okay with sharing that with you. Now, I'm not a reality TV show person. I'm not one of those people who would show you my entire life. But in the moments that we're together on video, I am comfortable that what happens, happens. And if you are meant to be in my circle and in my community, you'll stay. And if you're not, you'll go down another path, and that's okay. When I look at the numbers of people that are watching from wherever you are, sometimes those numbers are small, sometimes they grow and they expand, and sometimes they shrink, and that's okay. So I really want you to adopt the mindset that you don't have to be perfect in order to do live video. You just need to speak your truth. You need to share your message, right? And you need to be prepared that it may not be perfect and expect the unexpected. So when you can do that, when you adopt that mindset, you're going to be in a much better position to deal with difficult people and with trolls. The second tip that I want to give you here on dealing with difficult people is to get familiar with your dashboard. So you want to get crystal clear, and this can be different depending on whatever platform it is you use to stream. What I mean by this is that there may be, for instance, I'll tell you recently, okay? So Restream, which is what I'm using right now, and StreamYard look like 2 totally different dashboards. StreamYard is very white and minimalistic, and there's a certain setup that they have for all the different buttons. There's a setup to where they have the guest information. So when you're inviting someone to be a guest on your screen, all of these things look completely different. Restream has kind of like a dark blue background I'm looking at right now. And so the dashboard is very different here. It has the chat overlay that I just showed you. It has a difference in appearance for the captions. So everything about this particular layout is going to be different. So when I was moving from StreamYard to Restream and back and forth, right? And even using native Facebook and even using your phone, there's going to be a difference in the way that your dashboard is set. And what you want to do is to make sure you get crystal clear and familiar with your dashboard so that you know the layout, you know the lay of the land, and you know where everything is. The importance of that is then you know when you have that person that is kind of getting on your nerves and not letting things go, and they just keep distracting and disrupting from the flow of your stream, you know how to block them, you know how to mute them, you know how to hide them. I typically will not use the chat overlay that I showed you as an example just a few minutes ago. I typically don't use that because of my experience with Cactus Guy. So what I tend to do is I've learned and I've trained myself to be confident about the way that my dashboard is set up so that as I'm scanning through and I can see your different comments and see your chat, I know when I want to pull one up on screen, and I'm in control of that versus allowing just free fall, free flow with the comments. Now, I probably would use the chat overlay a little bit more if I were broadcasting, for instance, just directly inside of my private group. But I don't know that I will do that again if it's open to sites like Periscope and other sites where I don't always know who the community members are, and it could be anybody that shows up. So it's something that you're going to have to make a decision for yourself about is how do you want your dashboard to look? What options do you want to turn on? And where do you go in order to block certain people? Okay, so get familiar with your dashboard and know all the functionality so that you know what to do. The third and final tip I want to give you here is don't feed the trolls. Don't feed them. Look, here's the thing about trolls. People that are disruptive in this way that we talked about and that are jumping on just to kind of beat you up and mess with your flow and to, give you heck. I'll say that. How about that? Those folks are there. Who knows what the real reason is? Like I said earlier, I don't know why. I don't know why people are mean. I don't know why people are nasty, but there are some out there, and you just need to be aware of that. But the goal from what I can see, what they're trying to do is to engage you in conversations. Absolutely don't feed them. The thing they're trying to do is to engage you in conversation. They're trying to get you to communicate back with them. They're trying to get you to be upset. They want to see your face look frustrated. They want to see you sad or, upset in some way. They want to see that. And much like I tell my kids the same thing. Like, don't let people who are trying to bully you see that it's affecting you. Because the minute they smell blood, it's like sharks. They're going to continue and they'll even ramp up. So with the Cactus Guy, because I kind of paused and took a breath and didn't say anything back to him, he eventually went away. Now, of course, other people jumped on him, like I said, in the feed. But even if you don't have that, don't give them attention because that ends up giving them further reason to continue to try to be combative or to add other things to make it even worse. They may start off small, like this guy did, and then they just blow up and start putting words on screen that you didn't even know existed. It kind of got out of control. So, yeah, don't feed them, don't give them the attention because they consume that and they grow and they create even more chaos when you do so. Just don't give them the time. And if you run into a situation like that and you don't know, for instance, in your dashboard where all the buttons are that will block the person or mute them while you're in the process of doing your live stream, what you want to do is find out how to block and report them after you're done with your stream. Make sure you go back into the comments and block them from ever coming back so that they don't get to participate in your future lives. So I hope that these tips have been helpful to you. And if they have, just put a fire emoji in the comments section. If this is useful, I'm going to do a really quick recap and then we're going to get ready to wrap. Before we wrap, I will share one other really quick thing. Let's see. Number one was no stream is 100% perfect. So always expect the unexpected. Get yourself prepared for that because the unexpected can and probably will happen at some point. Number two is to get familiar with your dashboards. Really understand where all your block buttons are, where you can ban people. Can you do so quickly in the process of doing the live stream? Sometimes it may feel like a lot. So again, the goal is just to remove them from the comments page so that you're not seeing them. Even if you see them, so that no one else in your feed is seeing them and you can deal with them later. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm seeing all these fire emojis. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good. So if this is helpful, definitely adopt these. Here's the last one. The third one was don't feed the trolls. Don't give them anything. They just want your attention and you're not going to feed them. You're not going to give it to them. They won't get what they want and they'll go away. And this really applies also in your comment section for different social media posts that you might be sharing, even if it's not video. The key is not to engage people who just want to be, they just want to, again, mess with your flow. If they're trying to do that and it's not really productive, even if they do it under the guise of trying to be productive, I'm just trying to, create a conversation. No, you're not. You're trying to be disruptive. Learn to recognize when that's happening because that person does not belong in your space. They're not blessing you and you're not blessing them. So move on, move them along so you can keep doing your thing because you got work to do. Okay. All right. So the only other thing I will mention is that, again, I'm super excited about Stream Like a Boss. We're going to be doing some major things, excuse me, here coming up. We're going to be broadcasting on Amazon. We're going to be broadcasting on Haps TV. So if you don't know what Haps TV is, we just started really doing some more work with them within the past week or so. And haps.tv is where you're going to go. You can look me up at Tanya Smith. I should have had my little banner up and ready for you, but check it out because it's a fairly new platform and it's free and it's a streaming service that you can use where you can multi-stream to a lot of different channels at no subscription cost right now. Let me go and answer this question or address this because Virginia said something that I think others are feeling too. If one is not experienced, that can throw one off. That is so true, Virginia. And this is why I'm here to share these tips with you. So when I say expect the unexpected, so for those of you who have not really been actively on video before and now you're thinking about it and you're like, hey, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to share my message with the world. And when that one person shows up that's trying to mess with your game, I'm here to tell you this in advance so that you now can mentally prepare and arm yourself and equip yourself mentally to be ready for those situations. So when I say expect the unexpected, that's what I mean. These 3 tips I hope will help you to be equipped and empowered to take control of your scene, to take control of your setting and your video. Take it back. Don't give it to them. But yes, it is a true thing because nobody prepared me for that. Nobody gave me that kind of advice, Virginia. I didn't know. When these people showed up, I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? I just kind of used things that I already knew from my past experiences and occupations, but everyone's not going to have that. But that's why I'm here to give you these shortcuts. So all right. And yes, Bridget, stream like a boss. I love it too. I love it. I'm so excited about this. So we're going to have shopping channel on Amazon. We've got a lot of things going on. If you want to get connected and be a part of it, make sure you get connected with us on the Facebook group at Stream Like a Boss. And also make sure that you are connected with us in our various links. So if you go to tanya.video links, you can find all that you need, or just go to getnoticedwithvideo.com. That's my website. Again, I should have created a banner and I did not do that this time. But you're so welcome, Virginia. You are so very welcome. Look, I'm around. You can find me. You can always find me here on Thursdays on this stream. So be sure that you like, subscribe, and follow so that you never miss when we go live. We're going to be doing a lot more live streaming, not just our Thursday lives. So get connected. This month, we're going to be hosting a brand new webinar, and it's going to be all about how to really use your mindset and shift your mindset so that you can do more live streaming. So I'm really excited about sharing the new July calendar that I just shared in our group. That's the best place for you to get connected, be part of our community so you can get to know me and I can get to know you. And as we release different programs, you'll know about when those come up too. All right, everybody. I hope that you'll take these 3 tips and that you will apply them as you are streaming and you're serving and you're selling more of your services and standing out. If I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out. Just DM me or connect on any of my channels. It's been my pleasure to serve you once again on another week of lives, and I am so looking forward to seeing you next time. All right, everybody, have a good night and have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be 4th of July here in the United States, so have a wonderful holiday weekend if you're celebrating. All right, take care.